Hi sweet girl, it's mommy. I just wanted to kind of finish our last video just telling you a little bit about who I was. So I think I left off why I quit college. I did a year at Central Connecticut for business, and I went because I thought I had to, and my mom at the time had told me, if you want to go to college, don't worry about it. I thought that meant that there was some savings, for me. That's what she had said. But then when I ended up going, she said there wasn't any money. And then she took everything back that she said. And I ended up paying for college myself, and then ended up having to quit after a year because I needed a full-time job to pay for a car and a place to live, and a cell phone, etc. So that's what happened. Anyways, about that with my mom, years later, I was living with your dad. A check for 10 grand came to my apartment in mine and my mom's name, and I called her and I said, "What is this?" And she yelled at me that it was hers, and I had to give it to her. Turns out that was one of my college funds, and she tried to cash it out. And this was when I was 21. And so she lied and said, she first said there was money, and then she said there wasn't and made me pay for it myself. And then, after all was said and done, she was cashing out all my money and not telling me about it, but I only happened to find out about it because the check came to my address by accident. And the bank, wouldn't let me cash it because it was in my mom and my name, but she was the one that initiated the withdrawal, and I didn't even know that account existed. It was supposed to be for my college. So, my mom made me give the check to her, but I didn't really have a choice, but that's what happened. So me and my mom just don't really get along, and I don't trust her. I would never do that to my own child. I'm sorry. Anyways, how I got into banking, I started babysitting, working as a waitress, a few jobs here and there. And then I ended up applying for a bank. The guy I was dating at the time, his mom worked for a bank, and she told me there was an opening. It was a small local bank that's not around anymore, but she told me there was a teller position. So I went in person and I applied, and it was in Derby, and next to ShopRite, and I got the position, and it was really good for me. I liked getting dressed up and going to work, and wearing heels and going to work and seeing people, and I was really shy, but I was good at it, and it kind of broke me out of my shell a little bit because people liked to come to my teller line because I was really fast and really good at banking. So people would purposely wait to see me, like business owners and stuff, even though I was shy and wasn't good at making conversation with them. It was, I was good at it, something I was good at. And then I made my way to teller supervisor, but then the bank was getting taken over by a larger bank, and nobody knew if they were going to have a job, and I felt kind of stuck in my position, nowhere to move to, nowhere to grow. So I started applying for other places, other banks, and that's when I got to the bigger bank, People's, where I was working in the corporate, and started getting my licenses and moving up there. And it was stressful. I loved it, but it was stressful. All the testing and stuff was stressful, and it was just a lot of stress on me at once. And it was I needed to pass, because if I didn't pass and I couldn't keep my job and I couldn't get promoted, then like I didn't know how I was gonna afford my bills. I didn't have a parents to go live with, so it was just added, stress. But I really liked it, and I was really proud of myself, and it was something that I really liked. So another thing I just wanted to go over was me and my mom versus my friends and their moms. Me and my mom never got along. My mom always said this thing to me growing up, which I hated. She always said, ever since I was a little girl, I am not your friend. I am not your friend. I am your parent. And she always said that to me from when I was a little girl until I was an adult, and it was really upsetting. There was never like a happy conversation. It was always just, her yelling at me. Everything I did, was not good enough and getting reprimanded. There was no, playing. There was no, if I tried to talk to her, or have fun, I'm not your friend, she would say. And whereas my friends and their parents had a different relationship, and they could, go to the mall shopping with their mom, and it was fun. Whereas it was a nightmare to go to the mall with my mom. And then when I got older, my friends and their moms would go out to lunch, and they'd go out for a glass of wine, or they'd go to a wine tasting together. And my mom, I didn't drink, right? But you could have a glass of wine with lunch once in a while. That was, okay, and it was something I enjoyed once in a while. And my mom was very I'm not your friend, I'm not going to do that. She was really nasty about it, and I hated it. So I thought when I was a mom, I just wanted to be your friend. And I know you still have to be a mom too, but I just wanted to be your best friend because that's what I wanted. And I was, I guess, jealous of my friends that could do that with their moms. I was never able to, So I just, wanted you to have that relationship. If, if it's not with me, if, maybe it could be with Aunt Kat, if anything, But I just want you to have that relationship, that friendship. It's not just somebody to reprimand you and scold you all the time. I don't ever want to do that, and I hate even telling you anything you do is wrong because I love you so much. I don't want to tell you anything you do is wrong. Anyways, so I also wanted to tell you that I loved playing in the mud from when I was a child to an adult, but I also like to dress nice. So I liked both of two worlds. There's a lot of people that are one way or another, but I was a little bit of both. I liked wearing ripped jeans or, and playing in the mud or riding quads or, jumping in the leaves when you were a kid. But then, I also liked to get dressed up sometimes too, wear a dress, wear makeup. So I liked to do both. There's a lot of friends I had, they liked to dress nice, but they didn't want to touch any mud, ooh, gross, they didn't want to, so I liked to do both. But I want you to be your own person. It's okay to be your own person, and you're unique and perfect, and that's I'm just telling you who I was in case you ever wanted to know. And then I wanted to tell you about I loved sports, and it was my outlet, sports and having fun. That was my stress outlet. I loved doing that. I remember if I'd go snowboarding, it was this happiness. I'd be so happy, and nothing could bring me down for a few days, and then it's okay, I need to do something fun again, because life is pretty stressful, and it's really hard to keep that balance. And I think that when I got sick is when I lost that balance. It was just stress after stress after stress, and I never had anything happen to me like that before, without a relief in between. And it was just kind of too much, obviously, for me to handle. So if you can, just remember, nothing's worth your health and losing your health. Stress, just try to find whatever makes you happy. And also, I wanted to tell you that I learned when I was older, I have a coworker who's older and retired, and she was an only child and didn't have any kids. And she would tell me, for example, that there's holidays that she was alone, like as a young adult or whatever, and she found happiness in that. She actually would go to Florida and sit on the beach by herself for Thanksgiving, and she really found happiness in that, and would find happiness going out to eat alone, stuff like that. I had a very hard time being alone, and I wish I had learned to be happy alone like she did. If I was alone for a holiday, or even on a Saturday, a beautiful, I'd freak out. I hated being alone. And I could never go anywhere alone. I was at a point I wouldn't even go to a gas station alone when I was first started driving. I was so, scared or embarrassed. Someone had to go with me. I don't know why. But then I started getting more independent and doing more stuff and everything on my own, but I still was not the person that would go out to eat by myself or stuff like that. And I would get really sad if I was alone. I knew everybody was on holidays all happy and having fun. If I was alone, I'd get really, really depressed. I just want you to find the happiness in being alone, like my coworker did. It's okay to be alone sometimes, even on a holiday. She found the happiness in being alone, and she went and did something to make her happy, instead of sitting in sadness, I did. So I hope you can learn from that and do that too. I wish I did. I also just wanted to say, as my typical day before I got sick, I was about 26, turning 27 when I got sick. So I'm going to go over my typical day before I got sick. I would get up at 5 a.m. Sometimes I'd go to a spinning class at 5:30 or 6 a.m. at the Edge Fitness Club. And then I would shower and change and get ready and go to work and get dressed all nice in my corporate outfit and go to work all happy, and then work hard, and then come home. And I never really liked to cook, but I would make easy stuff like pasta, or put a piece of fish in the oven with some, make a salad, or a piece of grilled chicken with salad, or a hot dog or something like that, and then maybe watch some TV while I'd eat. And then I would, or if I didn't go to the gym in the morning, I'd go right after work, and then come home and eat. And then I'd usually go to sleep 9 or 10, and if I didn't find anyone to hang out with, a boy, if I was with your dad, hang out with him, or go, somebody that I was dating at the time, then I'd just go to sleep. On the weekends, I'd try to find fun stuff to do, like somebody to hang out with, like lunch to go for with a girlfriend, or hang out with, your dad or whoever I was with at that time. But that was my typical day. It was just a normal day before, when me and her dad were together before we got separated. I'd go to work, and I wasn't going to the gym at that time, and I was coming home and then going to work with your dad and splitting firewood with your dad, and I'd sit in the truck or help him write out bills and stuff like that. So that was my typical day. I just want to say I love you, and that was just a little bit about me. But I want you to be you, and I love you, and just have the best life ever, and know I love you so much, okay? Love you, baby.